protects against pollution. Who's gonna love you now? Hello guys, welcome back. Today is a video that I have been teasing and talking about doing for way too long. I needed to just get around to freaking doing it. Today we are doing a full face of new Ilia. And when I say new, I don't mean like new products that they just came out with. It's all new to my channel. Things that we haven't reviewed yet and things that you guys haven't seen in action. So we have a lot of things here. We have the Sheer Vivid Tinted Moisturizer SPF 20. I also have the concealer. I've had this for a while. This is the True Skin Serum Concealer. I have the Ilia, what's it called? Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder. We'll see if we can integrate this in here. This is the A Fine Romance Multi-Stick that I've reviewed multiple times. I do really like this. Another product that we're going to actually be applying today, even though I fully hate it, is the Liquid Light Serum Highlighter. I bought this during the Sephora VIB sale. I was so excited about it, and it is just a really hard formula to use. And we have the Ilia And She Was, that's the shade Silken Shadow Stick. And then, you guys, I think that this will come as a surprise to a lot of you, but we're going to actually be testing the Ilia mascara today. We're going to zoom in, gonna put all this on my face, gonna wear it for a full day, give you guys the full report on so many new Ilia products. And I also want to thank Falling for gifting me a ton of this stuff. They sent me the foundation, the shadow stick, and the mascara to try on my channel and review. So thank you, Falling, for always coming through in the clutch and taking such good care of me. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I've got my sponge here, and I already have SPF on my face because this doesn't really have that much SPF in it. Honestly, SPF 20 isn't really enough for me. I don't think that the SPF in your makeup really counts. It's a nice to have, but I do always wear a physical SPF other than that. It is good though that the active ingredient, the sunscreen ingredient in this is non-nano zinc oxide 12%. So it is a mineral physical sunscreen, which is fantastic. Is it mineral? Is zinc a mineral? Am I talking out of my butt right now? So I have the shade Los Roques T1, which is the lightest shade, and honestly, if I had my druthers, I would mix this with some of the Debronzy from Drunk Elephant, get it a little bit deeper on my skin than this, just because I do feel like it's a little lighter than I am right now. Oddly enough, I've got a real tan, like an actual tan. It's mostly just my freckles blending together, but this is not fake. This is just Texas. I wear sunscreen all the time. But I went out on a lake with one of my best friends, came to town last weekend and stayed with us. They were road tripping. She's my best friend from home. She was in one of my videos, Genevieve. Squeal like a pig, boy. We're getting you your own YouTube channel immediately, and everything's gonna get demonetized.
Here, and then I do like a triangle down, because one time I watched a video. So much dabbing.
And her husband and she shot my wedding, and so they were back in town to meet with some more brides to shoot some more weddings, and they happened to just, you know, stay with us, and best house guests ever. They cooked us dinner and cleaned up and brought games, and I mean, it was just amazing. I felt like I didn't have to lift a finger. It was incredible. So, wow, this is great, actually. I know that it's not really like a, whoa, a foundation, oh my gosh, we're really discovering something, you know, life-changing here because it's so light coverage. But a lot of you guys messaged me, actually, especially recently because it's been so hot everywhere, that you're looking for the right sheer coverage foundation, something that actually lasts but like doesn't make you feel like you're wearing a whole bunch of makeup, and also doesn't feel really high stakes in the morning. A lot of people, like a lot of my moms out there, are doing their makeup in the school drop-off lane, right? They're trying to work in their mirror. Don't do that while actually driving, but I totally understand needing to do it on the go. And wow, this has its own dry down. You guys, as I am putting this on my skin and I'm kind of, you know, pushing it in with the sponge, I feel the sponge start to kind of catch, which is a really nice feeling for something like this because it's not greasy. It actually sets down and has like a super nice sheen to it. It does contain dimethicone. Ilia's stuff does contain dimethicone for the most part, so just keep that in mind if that's something that your skin is sensitive to. Whoo boy, did we open a can of worms on my channel in the last video. Not with you guys, but like we got a really good conversation started. I'm gonna go in with the concealer now regarding clean and clean at Sephora. So right after I made my, what I call wildly uncorroborated accusation in that video regarding what I think is actually required of certain brands to be considered clean at Sephora to like get the seal, because, you know, they put out this article that was actually reposted by Aether that they were actually increasing the stringency of their requirements to be considered clean at Sephora, but then all of a sudden Tarte Rainforest of the Sea shows up in clean at Sephora, and I was like, literally, oh really? Like, I put that on my Instagram. I was just really surprised because that's not a new product. It hasn't been reformulated. It contains talc. It doesn't have any chemical sunscreens in it or anything, but there are a lot of brands that probably have better ingredients than the Tarte products do and aren't considered clean at Sephora, and it's only certain Tarte products, it's mainly the Rainforest of the Sea stuff, that's considered clean, and the rest of the brand doesn't have the seal, and it just makes me think that there is some kind of, like, you know, a campaign going on in the background that's basically just like, do you want to pay for the seal? Like, even if you have the ingredients, we're not going to put you under that seal of approval from Sephora that incentivizes people who are more conscious of their ingredients to spend their money there. We're not going to put that seal on your brand or on your products unless you pay for it. And like, again, wildly uncorroborated, but I just think I think it's pretty obvious. I don't know. I'm like not a drama channel, and I don't intend to be a drama channel, but like that, I take that seriously because I really hate that we are in a climate where everything is monetizable like that. It makes me crazy. So anyway, this concealer and this foundation together are gorgeous. It's just a really, really, really pretty texture. And again, it feels really secure as I'm putting it on. Let's zoom in real quick. Let me show you before I powder this. I do look a little bit ghostly, but that's my fault. So the concealer's trying to crease under my eyes a little bit, and that's also because I'm lollygagging. But you can see this really nice kind of glycerin-y finish that's on there. I'm not actually sure if there's glycerin in it. There probably is. There's all kinds of vitamin E and stuff like that in there. But the concealer gives me less coverage than I would like. If I'm going to wear a really nice light coverage foundation, I want my concealer, especially when it's the only concealer in their line, I'm pretty sure, to like do the work, show up, you know, and it's just not really showing up. I feel like I needed like color correction underneath it or something. It's not the cover effects, let's be real. Next, we're going to go in with the powder, the poudre. Again, this is the Soft Focus Finishing Powder in Fade Into You, which I believe is just the translucent shade. We don't have full coverage right now on the things that I would like full coverage on, like my big healing scab, which is completely my fault, but we all have our moments. Nobody's perfect. So I am fairly confident that I can use this powder pretty lightly and then still be able to use the liquid products on top, like the cream blush and stuff, because I really like this powder. This powder, it sets your makeup without super mattifying it. Granted, if I have to pick a favorite, it's still the Cover FX, but this is a very, very beautiful formula. The next thing that I'm going to do is just zoom through my cheek routine. You guys don't need to see that. I mean, I'm going to show it in fast forward, but if you ever want to see it, just look at any of my other makeup routines. It's kind of extensive, and that's why I'm going to zoom through it, because it's not the point of the video today. Turned my air conditioner on because I was sweating all across my little mustache area, so I am going to try and just take the back of my sponge here and just do a little tiny bit of the cheek cream product. Just give her a shot. You can totally get away with that. It's a very dry formula. It's not oily or super creamy even, and so it doesn't really disturb what's underneath. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I love that. It's a pleasure to use, it really is. So the one kind of issue that I'm having here is just that I feel like we just didn't get enough coverage here and I'm not satisfied with it. And so I'm actually gonna give you guys a little sneak peek here. This is something that I really hated at first because I didn't get it. This is the Lily Lolo Mineral Concealer. I have it in the shade Blondie, and it is a powder concealer. I tried using it half a dozen different ways before I figured out that it's really just more like a very intense powder foundation, much like my old, if you guys have been watching my videos for like 4 years or something, my old MAC press powder that I used to use before I knew anything. And of course I don't use that anymore, but this is so good for adding a little bit of extra coverage where you need it. Granted, I do have it in a little too light of a shade, but it's like I could take this on a little clean eyeshadow brush, this one's from Thrive, and just dab it on a spot after I've gotten all my makeup on and it disappears. And I also will do that on my melasma a little bit. Look at that. Amazing. And those little creasy spots underneath my eyes, right there, I'll put it there too. And it just brightens everything up. If you guys have been noticing how bright my under eyes have been lately, it's because of this stuff. It's really, really awesome and super unexpected because I hated it at first. Expect a full face of Lily Lolo at some point, but even calling it a full face is an exaggeration because this really is a powder that has to be used with another concealer. You can't call it a, I don't call it a, it's not a concealer. It's not a concealer on its own. Now we're going to dip into potentially treacherous territory. This again is the Liquid Light Serum Highlighter, and all of you people at home are going, Kackie, don't do it. Your makeup looks fine. I know, but we're here for science. So let's do this. And it does that every time. Every time it pops out of the container and it just shoots across the room. It happened in Sephora the first time I ever tried it. But I have it in the shade Nova. It's just kind of a gold, but it's a little too serum-y. It's got this weird kind of like stretchy texture to it. It's super wet, so I'm gonna dry the heck out of it and just up and down, up and down. I want this to work. You know, I spent my money on it. It was not inexpensive, but like the actual glow payoff for the amount of effort that you have to put in to get this stuff to work is so not worth it. It's like, it feels wet. It feels very dangerously close to moving all the rest of my makeup around. I'm using a ton of it to get it to sheer out and become anything even like visible. It's so wet. It's so frustratingly wet. I just think that this product is a miss. It's not that I can't get it to work. It's just that it should be easier and more fun. It should be like a pleasure to use. Now, they do suggest mixing it in with foundation or your favorite cream product or whatever, which probably would work fine, much like the Cover FX liquid glow drops or whatever they are. I would recommend those before I would recommend this. They're just more concentrated and they make more sense. So before I do my eyes and everything, I'm just going to spritz my face. This is actually the Onami spray. The Onami spray, something's happening with the caps. A couple of months into their life, the caps get clogged and you like can't clean them out properly. And so I didn't know this until, you know, I've had that bottle for like 3 months or something. It's an amazing product. It is my absolute ride or die finishing spray, but it started spraying erratically. You guys saw that in my Thrive video. I was like, whoa, what happened? I just like unintentionally doused my face. But I wrote to Onami, and not only did they send me a brand new bottle and a little baby travel bottle, but also they told me that they are big fans of my channel, which is great. I love that. So they are working on it. They are aware of the issue. In the meantime, I took the old bottle that I had and transferred it to just another kind of clean sprayer bottle, so. Okay, the highlighter's not horrible. It's glittery though, definitely glittery. Alrighty, let's go in with this eyeshadow stick. So I have it, like I said, in the shade And She Was, which is like, not really much, you know, it's just champagne. It's very, universal, unoffensive. And we're just going to kind of use that to give me some highlight here. And the consistency, if you try and build it, is a little greasy. I'm gonna be honest. We'll see how it wears over the day, but it definitely doesn't have that Thrive Brilliant Eye Brightener dry down or like instant creaminess. And you do, in order for it to stop being tacky, you have to smooth this out a lot to the point where you almost lose it. So I'm not sure about the other shades, but this one isn't like blowing my mind. It like already wants to crease. I don't think that that eyeshadow is that remarkable. It's really not that great. Let's put the mascara on and then we will talk ingredients and my initial thoughts before we go away for the wear test. This has a very different brush from the Thrive. The Thrive is a plastic brush and this is plasticky kind of on what? No, I guess it is all plastic, but it has like a comb side and then it has more of an erratic looking like brush side. So you can kind of build volume that way and look at the volume that that builds really instantly. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this because honestly it would be stupid if I hadn't worn this ahead of time. I think that one of the biggest differentiators for mascara is the wash off. The wash off on this is interesting because it is not a tubing mascara. It doesn't keep from resolving when you hit it with water. You know that feeling when you wear like Better Than Sex or I don't know, any normal like really build, like I think the Kush mascara is like that where it just builds tons of volume. And then you get out of the shower and it's all around your eyes and then you gotta rub your eyes and then you gotta use an eye makeup remover and things like that. And you know, it's not as big of a deal for some people. I have gotten so accustomed to never rubbing my eyes, ever, that I'm a total brat about it and I refuse to compromise. And that is why I don't ever want to leave my Thrive mascara behind, is because I never have to rub my eyes. I never ever have to use an eye makeup remover. And so I was a little nervous with this guy, but the weird thing is I do, you know, notice it kind of like coming off of my fingers in the shower and stuff, but when I get out of the shower I don't have raccoon eyes. It's just gone. So that's cool. Like that passes the smell test for me to some extent. Yeah. Ooh, this just makes your lashes really, really defined. I'm gonna wait for that to dry so that I can get it off of my face. In the meantime, I'm just going to put on a little bit of a brow pomade. Look at them big old power brows. Oh crap, I totally should have the new Glossier lip glosses up here with me, but I don't. They are the new holographic one and the new red one. Eee, they're so good, but I don't have them up here with me. I just have my old bunk ones. And by bunk I mean they're like backwashy. I have like 2 more new ones besides the holographic one and the red one. Also, Glossier just dropped a bunch of new merch that is so cute, you guys. So cute. So cute. They've done a very, very good job. I've already ordered mine. So, this is the Luke. I think that this is really, really pretty. The lighting is killing me. Let me see if I can up the ISO without losing too much detail. I'm always trying to bridge the gap. See, that's better, but I think you lose detail. So the Ilia Sheer Vivid Tinted Moisturizer SPF 20. The Sheer Vivid Tinted Moisturizer comes in 6 shades. Pretty low coverage, so it's not like a super high stakes shade matching game. Our Sheer Vivid Tinted Moisturizer brings new meaning to no makeup makeup, a whisper light formula that gives skin a kiss of sheer color for a healthy glow and even more radiant complexion. Natural SPF 20 is blended with nourishing botanicals of aloe, avocado oil, and green tea extract into a semi-matte formula that blurs imperfections and leaves a soft, diffused glow. My nose is running like a bygone. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Are you kidding? So ingredients-wise, we have aloe, capryl triglyceride, sesame seed oil, We have, zooming through here, white peony tea leaf, avocado oil, coconut oil, beware, shea butter, beware, rose hip seed oil, which I personally love, jasmine extract, lavender steam extract, clove extract, and the active ingredient, like I said, is non-nano zinc oxide, 12%. So this does just, I mean, if you are not sensitive to coconut, if you are not sensitive to dimethicone, and you are not sensitive to shea butter, which I am lucky, those are 3 that are okay in my book, then this is actually an incredibly beautiful formula when it goes on, because honestly, it's easy to sell this short. Like, I sold it short initially. I was like, this is just so low coverage, who cares? But it has its own dry down. It has a little bit of coverage. It has some really nice blurring properties to it. And when they say satin, it really is more of a skin finish. It only kind of behaves satin just because there is, it's almost like a layer. You know what I mean? Like, you feel a little bit protected. You feel a little bit kind of like lifted by it versus something that stays a little bit more tacky, a little bit more dewy on the skin. So I think that that's kind of what they mean. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All of this right here is not in play right now. Honestly, like, you guys, by the end of the day, it's gonna be so gross around my nose that, like, don't blame it on the makeup. Also, this is $42 and you get 1.7 ounces. I used a ton on my face just now. So if you are the type of person who's going to apply it with a sponge and not just go for like super sheer coverage, understand that like 1.7 ounces is a lot. That's a lot value for your money wise, but you're also using like a big old squirt on your face every day. So I think it probably just comes out to the same, you know, like it feels like a regular bottle of foundation. The concealer comes in 12 shades, which really do run the gamut, which is fantastic. It is $30 and I have the shade Chicory, which is the second fairest shade. It is light with golden undertones. I probably could have gone for the lighter shade, light with neutral undertones, or fair with neutral undertones, which is arrowroot, just because I feel like this didn't really do much for brightening or for coverage. I feel like it could have just gone a little bit lighter. So that's probably on me. It says this lightweight creamy concealer delivers medium coverage. Okay, so that's my bad. You know, like I think I just had like more high expectations of this, probably because it looks like a concealer. A lot of these don't look like concealers. This one just looks like a regular prestige brand Sephora buy, you know, like here, have some concealer. And something about this said full coverage to me. In my brain, that's my bad. They don't claim that it's full coverage. Serum-like texture blends seamlessly into the skin, enriched with stabilized vitamin C and Albizia julibrissin bark extract. Sometimes I feel like they just throw those ingredients in there to just be like, wow, you won't ask questions. Just believe us, it's weird. True Skin Serum Concealer protects the skin from free radicals, environmental damage, while helping to firm, soothe, and nourish the skin's surface. Mastic, a resin from tree that grows on Greek island of Chios, works to mattify and refine skin throughout the day. Featherweight on application, it immediately reduces the appearance of dark circles and discolorations, leaving skin slightly brightened and flawless. So, at $30, you get 0.16 ounces, and you're not getting a ton of coverage here. Great ingredients. I do think that they're overstating the claims. I just feel like that's a little bit silly. And I feel like it's like this party line, essentially, when we talk about vitamin C. They're like protects against environmental damage or like pollution and stuff. Like, what does that even mean? Protects against pollution? That just sounds, I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to report back to you guys on yes or no whether something protected me against environmental pollution. And I think that that's by design. I'm just saying. Aloe is the first ingredient. Glycerin is the fourth ingredient. There's no dimethicone, which is great. So these ingredients are super, super pure, and it does behave like a concealer. It doesn't do weird, greasy, no dry down kind of stuff, and it also isn't claiming to be full coverage. So I mean, I think that this is one of those ones where if you are kind of a lightweight face of makeup person, you could just get away with wearing this on an SPF, but just be aware it's not going to give you a really brightened under eye. It's not gonna cover your zits. It's basically just a lightweight makeup in a concealer form. That's not my personal definition of a concealer. Let's talk about the powder real quick. This one is $34, which is not inexpensive. You get 0.32 ounces or 9 grams. With a blend of organic powders and oils, our talc-free formula, we do love that, hydrates and softens the skin. I will say that their powder does feel hydrating. It's very interesting in that sense. Light as air and milled 5 times. Most powders are milled 3. It's undetectable to the eye and gives a blurred, soft focus finish formulated with skin conditioning aloe, antibacterial rosemary, and oil balancing bamboo to help leave skin surface shine-free but with enough of a lit from within luminosity so it looks healthy and glowy from day to night. You guys, this is a pretty remarkable powder. I do feel like the ingredients do a really good job in here of actually backing up those claims. This does have this finely milled skin texture thing to it. I'm turning the ISO back down so you can see. If you're confused, ISO is the amount of light that my camera is letting in. So, less light makes it look like it's nighttime, but at least you guys can see detail. This has such an amazing blurring quality to it, and you don't have to put very much on. I did notice, and you guys might have seen sort of in the time lapse of me doing my cheek products, I make a couple of grimacy faces because I did feel my brush kind of catching a little bit. This is not a full matte powder. This is not going to dry your skin out instantly and give you that like paper finish that you can just like paint on top of. Most of you guys aren't looking for that, but I thought that I would tell you anyway. The other nostril has decided that it's its turn today. Okay, so those are the big guys. I don't want to just like bomb you guys with a bunch of information right now because a lot of these things I don't necessarily recommend and I have reviewed in other videos. I will link all of them below. But as far as these are concerned, the actual complexion products, I think that this is a home run so far. We'll see how it wears over the day. I love this powder if corn doesn't offend you. And this concealer just hasn't really, I've had it the longest out of all of these and it really hasn't found its way into like my everyday routine because for a concealer, it doesn't really give me what I'm looking for. So let's zoom in on the final look real quick and then we will go ahead and jump into the wear test. Wow. Look at that finish. Look at it. That's the powder. The powder just gives this beautiful, flexible finish. I still have creasing under my eyes. It's like never ending. But I just love that texture on the skin between the foundation and the powder. I would prefer a different concealer, I'm a broken record, but I do really love them together. I do like that it has a little bit of SPF in it and that it's a physical SPF, even though I don't think that, 20 is necessarily enough, but it's not doing any weird creasing things. It feels very light on my skin. I like how it feels. I like how it kind of participated with the rest of my makeup. And this is about the level of coverage that I like to wear on a day-to-day basis. Like if I'm gonna wear a foundation, I do like this level of coverage. Look at that blur. Look at that really nice blur. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm going to wear this for the next 8 hours of my day and I will check in with you guys after that and we will look really closely at how all of this fared, whether the pigment stuck around on my cheeks, whether the concealer just totally crapped out underneath my eyes. Again, this is really not in play right here because I'm just scratching my face so much right now. I'm just, the allergies. But everything else I really feel like is locked in for the moment. We will see if it lasts all day. So I will see you guys at the end of my day. Let it be known that 6:02 p.m. it's still broad daylight outside in Austin, Texas in July. And it turns out it's a lot easier to see what the heck's going on camera. Hi guys, it's the end of my day. I've been wearing this makeup for 8 hours. I am feeling a little under the weather. I've been lying down for the last couple of hours just, watching The Great British Baking Show. And also, I started Leanne's new Disney vlog, which I'm very excited to pick back up as soon as I sign off of here. Who is tired, raise your hand, of watching me wipe my nose because I'm certainly tired of doing it. Also, I had the hiccups for like an hour earlier. I thought I was gonna die. Is this my favorite face of makeup that I've ever worn? No. No, it's not, and there are a few reasons for that. One, that highlighter is a mistake. I'm gonna zoom in a minute and you're just gonna see my nose. My nose looks crazy. It just looks crazy. It started out kind of blending in with the texture of everything, but as everything settled into my skin over the day, the highlighter just stayed where it was and it literally looks like, do you guys remember like MS Paint? It looks like when you had like the spray paint brush on MS Paint. I mean, I'm obviously dating myself, but like, am I just completely alienating the rest of my audience? I have no idea. But I would say that the biggest culprit here today, ladies and gentlemen, is the concealer. The concealer, it just doesn't perform. period. Full stop. I had like, you know, like an eye booger, right? Just like a baby eye booger. It wasn't anything momentous. And, you know, I just reach up in the car and I just do one of those and I just kind of pull it out of my eye and I just do like one of that. And the makeup's gone. Like it's like it's water soluble or something. That is definitely one of the things that you run into when things don't have a whole bunch of stabilizers in them. I don't know what all the ingredients are in that concealer, but it didn't have dimethicone or any kind of silicones in it. And I'm not gonna say that that's the reason because I don't know that to be true, but this just deteriorated really quickly. The mascara, I don't love the appearance of it. It's a little bit, for all of its lengthening, I still ended up with like weird clumps that are like way more noticeable when you aren't using a thick formula. Like this is a pretty thin lengthening formula instead of that bulky volumizing formula. And for that reason, if, you know, I try to build too much volume, I just end up with really heavy ends on my lashes. And it's flaking. And let me tell you, I mean, yes, I've been outside today, but have I been doing things? Not really. I went to my P.O. box. That's like the big thing that I did today out of my house. Like, I didn't put this through that much in terms of like rocking and rolling. So I did schwitz quite a bit, but I will say that the foundation held up. The foundation is really, really pretty. I think that it stands alone in this whole group as just trying to compensate and outperform on behalf of things like the concealer. Let's get close and I will show you what I'm talking about. Lower the ISO so we can see the brutal truth. There we go. Hi guys. All right. First of all, the concealer under my eyes is gone. This is what I was talking about, how like all I did was reach up and like grab an eye booger. If you wear contact lenses or anything, I don't. But if you do, I mean, this isn't gonna last, it's gonna last 10 minutes on you. You know what I mean? If you get any kind of wet eyes, you know, from allergies or anything like that, it's not gonna last. And honestly, it doesn't start out with that much coverage to begin with. I'm doing a poor job concealing the fact that I don't really like this concealer. But I think that that's useful information. If I can save you $30, that's valuable information. I've done my job. The mascara, like I said, it's just not what I prefer. I know plenty of people who would like this look. You know, it's very defined. It does make my eyelashes look long, but it is flaking. I don't love the removal as much as I like the Thrive removal, and I don't like that there's no kind of taper to my lashes. Everything's just kind of these weird clumps on the ends of my lashes, which just is, I don't know, it's just not what I'm used to. Here on my cheeks, this is where you can really see that the foundation is just, you know how you have a group project and there's like the one person who's really coming to the table with all of the actual legwork? That's what this foundation is doing. It really has a fantastic set of ingredients, formulation, what have you, and it just gives this really nice blur without too much coverage, and it does dry down a little bit on its own. If you are interested in something like this that doesn't have dimethicone in it, I do actually really like the Juice Beauty Stem Cellular CC Cream. It doesn't have as much coverage as this though, but it is very blurring. This does have dimethicone in it, but for that reason, it really does perform. Ooh, oh, let's show you my nose. Oh, that's such a great shot. I love this lens. That is not perspiration. No. That is glitter. That's just highlighter and, you know, application error. Maybe, but like I was trying to be so careful just to keep it from moving everything around, and I just ended up with like sponge paint glitter on my face. Ain't nobody coming to a serum highlighter for a sponge paint look, okay? It's just, that's not what we're paying for. The eyeshadow, I'm not really sure what the point of that was. It's just like not there. I'm not even sure it was there to begin with. Yeah, and it's definitely creasing. Like, don't do it. It's very, very, very easy to compare it to the Thrive, which won't crease. It has the exact same sheer color. I mean, they're the same color. Let's swatch those next to each other. Oh, I just put that on my hand and now I can't tell them apart. So this is the time. And it does have dimethicone in it. It is just this beautiful spreadability. And then this one is Greasy Oily, and they have pretty much the same finish on them, but the Greasy Oily Ilia is just, it's going to crease over the day, and it is more expensive. So let's just chase that feeling and give you some alternatives to the things that I didn't really like. So I love the powder, I do, but I think that your money is better spent on Cover FX. It doesn't have corn in it, it doesn't have as many emollient ingredients in it, but no one needs as many powders in their collection as I have, and you probably only really want one translucent powder, go for the Cover FX. It's just money better spent. This, I think, is actually kind of the answer for a lot of you who have been messaging me asking me for a sheer coverage foundation. Like, this is not a sunscreen. That's not how it feels. It does actually go on with enough coverage and behave enough like a foundation that I feel comfortable calling it a foundation. They call it a tinted moisturizer, which is fine. I think that it does fall into the same category as, like, if you're used to the tinted moisturizer from Laura Mercier, which was like my first prestige product ever. I love that formulation. It's so pretty. It's got that really nice glycerin-y thing to it, and it does actually dry down. It does have a touch more coverage than this, but I think that this is just like a really, really like flexible, foolproof, beautiful formula. Like I said, I held off for a long time making this video because I didn't feel like I had a hot take on this. It's just is it makeup? I wasn't sure. I do think that there is some cool uniqueness to be had here, more so, my dog is barking, more so than a lot of the kind of comparable low coverage foundations out there. Like, this is a contender for like my end of the year roundup because I feel like this is a category that gets kind of like underappreciated because they're all like, they're all the same. This is a little different. It's cool. You already knew that I loved the cheek stick. The fact that I applied it today on top of powder, like, that should speak volumes. It's really, really cool stuff. You can apply it however the heck you want. Other end of the spectrum, no. Buy the Cover FX drops. I swear I'm not like a Cover FX stan. I don't have an affiliate code for them or anything like that. But there are a lot of things in the Ilia range that are going for the same things that the Cover FX range goes for, like a lot of the same products. And I feel like this was going for the Cover FX custom, what are they called? Enhancer? Glow drops? Custom glow drops maybe? They all have custom enhancer, custom blah, I think whatever the highlight one is, it's much more concentrated and it really does the job that this aims to do. This is just too thin, it's too watery, it's uncooperative, and it ruins your makeup, and it's super glittery. Like, it's super glittery. It doesn't have like that nice kind of like chrome glow to it. It's like particle glitter. And I mean, I've never misled you on this, but I will just reiterate, I don't like this product. The mascara, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Glossier Lash Slick. That's basically what this is. The Lash Slick is a little bit less lengthening. It doesn't bring the volume to the party the way that this does. And so if you do like a lengthening mascara, this one's pretty cool. It's also pretty expensive, and I don't think that it's like worth that for me because this is not the look that I'm going for. It's just a little too like separate-y for me. I like to have a little bit more visual impact, so you know, I'm gonna stick with my Thrive mascara. Finally, like I said, the concealer, I can't believe I'm doing this. I have completely inadvertently become a huge fan of like a handful of Cover FX products, and one of them is their concealer. So I have it in N Light 1. I've been using the heck out of it. It didn't impress me at first because it's really thin when you first buy it, but it does kind of like dry a little bit as you start to use it, and I honestly think that that's probably, they anticipated that. They knew that their formula would dry out over time. I'm just postulating, but I think that they knew that, and so that's why they kind of started out a little bit thinner, so it has a little bit more like, you know, life to it. They're not going for the same thing. This is not going for full coverage. I didn't know that at the time. I wouldn't have bought this if I did. So this is going for full coverage. It's just a preference thing. It's just what I like, and I just prefer this so much more. That is where I leave you guys today. Is that everything? I think that's everything. A lot of products we tried today. So I hope that this was helpful. Sure is a lot of information. I honestly feel like this was like a roundup video just because we had so many products to try. So even though some were hits and some were misses, I do absolutely want to thank Pauline for literally volunteering to send me this stuff. Like, I messaged them and I said, am I allowed to use my own link to purchase things, and they're like, do you just want us to send you stuff? And I was like, what? Like, they're so nice. They're so generous. They're so awesome. And they made this possible for me. So thank you to Fahlane. If you thought this was valuable and you enjoyed it, then give it a thumbs up, guys. And if you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. I have merch. I have a vlog channel. You can check them out down below. I will have both linked if you want some more Kackie in your life or you want to wrap the blush feel. Guys, thank you for watching. I love you so freaking much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.